Hey, what's up? It's your boy Score and welcome to another episode of BlahBlah. Today's episode is all about the magic of Pixar.
Blah blah.
So there are now 13 Pixar movies out. Every single one has debuted at #1. I just saw Brave. Brave was beautiful, it was amazing, it was epic, and there was an airplane flying by. Anyway, Brave was an awesome film. It was so well done. It was just so realistic. It was like a live-action movie. It was very different for Pixar. So I want to go back and focus on every single film they did and just give you a quick little spiel on what I thought they were and maybe a fact that you may not have known about them. So the very first Pixar movie that hit theaters with Disney was Toy Story, and Toy Story blew everything away. You had Woody and Buzz, and it was really the first time you got to see a full-length feature in this cool, amazing computer animation that was just revolutionary. Then we got Bug's Life. A Bug's Life did okay in the theaters. I actually really enjoyed it. Really awesome film. You had Flick the Ant, and there was like this giant grasshopper, and he was like coming in, and his name was Hopper. Funny characters. I enjoyed it. After A Bug's Life, we got Toy Story 2, and I love Toy Story 2. Usually the sequels never are good, but Toy Story 2 was probably way better than Toy Story 1. And I'm not gonna lie, I cried in that one part where the little that little doll got left in the hill. Yeah, I teared up a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie, I cried too. It was really sad. I didn't want to see her left alone,
Then there was Monsters Inc. You had Sully and Mike, the big one-eyed green monster, and they had to scare kids to power their city. They're actually coming out with a prequel called Monsters University, and it goes back to when they're in college, and Mike and Sully are a little skinnier, and they're in college dorms, and they're learning how to scare. So I'm really excited to see that. It comes out in 2013.
I could have been in that movie. Was that scary?
Then came my ultimate Pixar film, Finding Nemo. This movie was sheer perfection. It was amazing. You had Dory, you had little Nemo, and you had this whole entire ocean. There was sharks, there was whales, there was seahorses, there was squid, there was octopus, there was everything. And it was just such an amazing, epic film. There was turtles, Crush the Turtle, and I just really, 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 really loved Finding Nemo. The Incredibles.
Weak.
The Incredibles, it was like a James Bond 70s music soundtrack with this whole family of superheroes. They all had different powers, kind of like retired superheroes, and basically they had to reinvent themselves and work as a family, as a team of superheroes, and do a lot of crazy things, and it was really fun. It was like an action adventure. There were explosions and stunts and stuff. It was stuff we weren't used to seeing with Pixar. Cars was cool. It was okay. It helped sell a lot of toys, but wasn't really my favorite film. But overall, it was a pretty decent film. Wasn't my favorite. It was more of a comedy, and it was alright. Then there was one film that was pretty much made just for adults, not in a raunchy kind of way. Ratatouille. And there goes another airplane. I don't know what's going on today. Ratatouille was about a dirty little rat. All rats are pretty dirty. But anyway, it was this rat who had a very fine taste for real food and not eating trash. And in the end, he became a gourmet chef, and he had to use his cooking skills, and combined with human interaction and stuff, it made the film really warm, and it was just really good to see these two different characters interact in a certain way, and they had to cook food, and it was actually a really good film. I think I want to watch that right now, actually.
The movie really should have been called Dogatouille, and I should have been the star because I know how to make food. Pop-Tarts, eggs, frozen pizza.
WALL-E was a cute story about a robot and the end of the world and how we destroyed our world with trash, and was kind of like a little green incentive thing for us to stop throwing our trash away and treat our earth a little better. But WALL-E really didn't talk much. He just made little robot noises and stuff, and that was a love story pretty much. It took place in space and was about humans and how we became so lazy, and so WALL-E was actually really good. There was a really deep message to that.
Eva. How was that? Eva. WALL-E. Eva.
Up was an adventure / love story, and that one actually made me tear up too. It was such a heartfelt story. It was about an old man and this little kid who go on an adventure in a house that is picked up by balloons, and it's about this old man living an adventure with his wife who is now deceased. And it was a really good movie. Pixar is just so crazy at figuring out stories and, you know, putting the story first and then tying everything else together, the technology and the animation, to make that story come to life. That is their primary focus, and Up is one of those movies that really follow that, and it's just a beautiful film.
Toy Story 3! Yeah! I love Toy Story. I mean, all the characters. How can you ever get sick of Buzz Lightyear? To infinity and beyond!
The toys are back for a third movie. This is the only Pixar movie that's gotten 3 films. This one had an all new fresh story. It was really funny, of course, and I'm pretty sure we all cried at the end of that movie. Yeah, we did. Then came Cars 2. It was an action spy adventure. They strapped guns on top of the cars and they made them secret agents, and they had to drive around the world and do stuff and a lot of weird things and shooting guns and stuff. I wasn't really into Cars 2. That was like the last one I ever wanted to see a sequel for, and we got a sequel for Cars. And finally, I just saw Brave. Pixar, it was back and better than ever and most amazing. The film was so well done. When you see the trailers, it's definitely not at all what they make it seem like it's going to be like, and it was just such a beautiful visual film. I actually got to see it in Dolby Atmos, which is this whole new Dolby surround sound thing, which is like the atmosphere. Instead of having, you know, like speakers on each side here and on the back to here, every single speaker was like a separate channel. So you could have stuff flying all around. There were speakers on the ceiling. That was the very first film to use that technology, and it was amazing. When she was in the woods, you could hear like the branches on top, and when it was raining, you could hear the raindrops on the ceiling above you. Things were flying around. The bear was like coming from over here. And it was just like awesome. And I almost choked up a little there towards the end. Pixar just loves to use those tear-jerking moments. I actually love that because I do film stuff too, and I do animation, and I love to control the audience's emotions. So I like to say I like to make people cry, but not in a mean way, but I like to, that is just proof that you're controlling, you know, you're getting inside people's emotions and you're evoking these emotions, which are tears or laughter, and it's just a really good thing to do if you can successfully do it. Well, that is the end of my Pixar blah blah. I just wanted to go over every single movie and say how amazing Pixar is, how inspiring they are, and I'm probably going to go watch one right now. So make sure you subscribe to my videos, follow me on Twitter, give me a shout out, and we'll check you next week. See you later.
You know, they really could have picked me for Brave. I don't want to do that. I can use my bow and arrow whenever I want. I'll be shooting from my own hand. I have that accent. See, I can do it very well. I am a little, Scottish doggy. I am a little, yeah, I kind of need a script.
Blah blah.